Yeah, welcome back once again. Today we are going to be continuing with lesson three. The last time we stopped here at variable and naming conventions, and we talked about built-ins in Python. Those are the keywords that you cannot use as variables. Now we taught us how to use variables, but right now we're going to be continuing um, the lesson three, which is going to be continuation on strings. So this time we'll be talking about um, string manipulations. How do we manipulate strings? That is, we're going to be discussing slicing. Let me let me write it out. Let me comment this out so that let me see. The shortest cut to comment out is to let me undo it. Is to highlight it on VS Code. Is to what highlight the whole thing. Let me do it, or you can just press Ctrl A if you want to comment a uh, multi-line code. You can, if you want to comment everything, you can punch Ctrl A, then you punch Ctrl question mark. You understand? So it will highlight everything. Then let's work on slicing. Let me first of all talk about slicing. Slicing. What is slicing? You have if you're in a situation whereby you have to define what slicing is, what would you say? Slicing is just like dividing, like you slice a bread. For example, let's use bread for as a case study. Cutting the bread into each segment is what slicing. So it's just like slicing a bread, slicing as you slice onions, as you slice anything. So it's just the literal word, take it literally, slicing. So now we're going to be learning how to slice string. How do we slice string? What do we mean by slicing string? It means cutting off some of the string data. Let's say, okay, let's use this name for example. Let's say I want to slice this name, and of course you see that. Let me uncomment this name. So let's say we want to slice this. Let's say we want to slice this. So by slicing it, we'll say something like say um maybe if I say something like um, name, say name, let me store it slice. Let's say slice, let me store it in a variable slice equals say name, say um let me slice from say from 0 up to um up to 5. What will it give us? So let me print it out and see what it will give us, and I'll explain from there. Let me say print um sorry, excuse me, print um print slice. So if you have to print slice, let's print it and see what it will give us. It gave us what? Hello. Hello. And what we have there was hello Timson. But now it gave us what? Hello. Now let me explain why it happens like that. Now when I say slice from zero, from this zero here, from this zero, I say slice from 0 to 5. Now in programming, what I'm asking here is that this name variable, the content in the variable has an index from 0 to whatever. Now indexing means the position a particular data is occupying. So look at hello Timson. What position is H occupying? What position is E occupying? L, O. Then this space too is considered in Python. Consider it, and other some other programming languages. In fact, most programming languages we call it white space. You understand? In programming, it's called white space, and white space simply means ordinary space in your normal in it means space. but in programming, it's a programming lingo, we call it what? White space. Now you count this white space too, because in programming it is also as well regarded as what? Index, position. So the white space too is occupying a position, the T is occupying a position, the I is occupying a position, M, and so on and so forth. Now, positioning, like I said, indexing means positioning, or means position a particular item or a data is occupying. Is occupying. So when I say indexing, understand that I'm talking about position. A particular data is occupying. So look at this H here. Index in programming start from what? Zero. We start counting from zero. So H is what? Is occupying the position zero. E is occupying the position one. L is occupying the position um L is occupying the position two. Another L is occupying the what? Position three, and so on and so forth. Just know that the counting starts from where? H. You understand? Now I'm now saying here, I want you to slice it and allow only from the position 0 to 5. And always know when you are slicing, the number fifth position is not always considered. So when I say for example, when I say slice from when I say slice from uh, when I say slice from 0 to 5, I'm invariably saying include the index, or include the items in the index, include the items the position in the position uh from what? From 0 to the what? Uh to 4. That is what it means. It means include item in the position from 0 to 4, because 5 is not always included. And look at here, it says, now let me, if I say 0 to 5, it means 0 to 5 minus 1, because the last one is not included. I will show you a scenario where the fifth or the last item will be considered as being part of the uh, or being part that will be included. So in this case here, I have said slice any other element, but leave 0 to 5. Leave 0 to 5. That is what it means. That is why if we count 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, the fifth one is what? Eliminated, which is the space. Even if I bring it down here, normally if I print this thing now, if I print say if I print name, if I print name, if I try to print name, of course it will bring together Hello Teamsin. It will join Hello Teamsin together, because of course, so because I have not put space in between Hello Teamsin. Now if I now say my reason for doing this is for me to show you that it's not because there is a space here, that is why it chose not to include space, but I want to show you that it's actually because the last item listed in the position is not always included. So uh let me now say slice um the item after 0 and 5, that is include 0 to 5, but not the lot what? The fifth items. Now if we count here now, you will see 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. T is the fifth position. So I now say include 0 to 5, and here it will not include T being the fifth one, because I've told you before, and I'm repeating it, that the fifth one is not always what? Included. So if I now tell Python to print the slice, it will give me what? Hello, like it did before. So look at hello Teamsin here than hello here, because I just told Python to slice away Teamsin and just leave it at what? Hello. You understand? So if you now count it, remember we are counting from zero. Why? If you're talking about indexing, indexing starts from zero. Indexing, I repeat, means position. It means position. So index starts from zero. So H is zero, E is one, L is one, L is two, another L is three. Then the last one, which is O, is fourth, is four, is occupying the fourth position. So if we go again, fifth, which is T, but we have told Python that eliminate from zero to five, but in this case, Python will not include the what? The fifth one. So if you want the fifth one to show, you will say zero to what? Sixth. You understand? If you put any number here, I want you uh to try some work, try to manipulate some stuffs here. You can just put one here, three to, you understand? Just play around it, do some funny things around it. Just be putting values. You understand? There. So that is that. But if you want Python to print everything, to print everything, hello, mind you, the fact that I use slice here, eh? The fact that I use slice here doesn't mean you should use slice. Or not, because I'm just trying to use the simplest thing, or the quickest thing that comes to my mind. You can use anything, but don't ever try to use a keyword as a variable, or for naming your variable. You understand? Remember, I told you keywords are not meant to name your variable. Keywords and built-ins are not used to what? Name variables. Just, it has to be, your variable has to be, it must not contradict, or must not be the same with the name. And Python is case sensitive, remember. So slice here, this slice is not the same thing as what? Uppercase slice. Python will see it as error. Python is what? String in Python is case sensitive, and any whatsoever thing is case sensitive in Python. So Python does not Python don't neglect capitalization or whatsoever. So that is that. So if I want Python to print everything, I can simply say, yeah, just put, you can put another column here, or sorry, you can just, excuse me, you can just uh you can just you can just leave it like this, and Python will recognize that you are telling him uh to not slice anything. You understand? To not slice anything, should consider every item between what? Zero to the last. So if I run it, let's run it and see if I'm correct. You see that it printed it out. You see, hello Timson, it printed it out. If what if I say, um okay, let me quickly tell you what this means. Let me tell you what this means. It means, sorry, excuse me. It means, what I'm trying to do is, when I say uh if when I say zero zero to whatever to whatever, what it simply means is, start at a particular point, stop at this point, then if necessary, step. You understand? So we have start, stop, what? Step. That is what I'm trying to do. Say start at a particular index, stop at a particular index, and step if necessary. And of course, this step is not used in. I didn't use it in. I didn't use it in this string. I didn't use it, but I'll be using it more in integer, than you'll be seeing the use of this step. This step actually means step, and you give it the step, um, the 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 step limit. Okay, if I want it to step for every 2 units, or for every two count, it just indicates. But if you don't put it, it doesn't matter. You will see I didn't have any value at the step. I didn't add any value to step here. You understand? So it is always negligible. I mean, sometimes negligible, or sometimes you can just ignore it. It may not have any. it may not have any use anyways at times, but if you have a use for it, you would indicate. You understand? So that is that on slicing. And of course, we cannot exhaust slicing as a goal like that, because more of the examples will be used along the line as we progress in our learning. The another thing I will be considering is what, using operators in a string. If you use, say, if I say, um, if you remember in our last lesson, I said something like, in number, when we're dealing with numbers, when we're giving examples of numbers, I said something like, I said something like, um, addition. I don't know if I've touched it, but if I have not touched it, you can just go back and rewatch the stuff. But if I have not touched it, of course, definitely I will touch it as we progress. So we can add string. So when you add string, you when you add two strings together, what it does is it concatenates. There's something we call concatenation of string. Let me write it out. Concatenation. Concatenation. I don't know if I'm right. Let me see. Yeah, I think it's concatenation. Concatenation means to add one or two strings together. One or two strings together. Now, let me say for example, um, let me give a variable called concatenate. Let me just name it conc. And I want to concatenate, say, uh, okay, let me say name equals, say, name equals Stimson, and the greeting equals hello. And I want to put hello word together. So let's concatenate it. Let's concatenate it for everybody to see. So I now want to put the name together. And I'll say conc or concat equals, say, uh, I can say greeting, greeting, greeting plus name. So let's print concat. Print uh, let's print concat. Let's print concat. If you print concat, it will give us hello Timson. This is what it will give us. So let me comment out the previous one so that we will not get confused as to what we're trying to do. Okay, yeah. So let's run it. So you see, hello Timson. But this particular hello Timson has no spacing. Is it because we concatenated it? No. Is it because we didn't concatenate it well? Yes. Why is it so? Why concatenating? You should regard that even if I put space in here, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It will still print this. It will still print the same hello teams. To still put them together. Juxtapose them together. But there's a better way to do it. Now I told you white space is what is considered in Python. Python considered white space, and white spacing is what ordinary spacing is called white space. Is a programming lingo. White space is called or just ordinary space. So in programming, we just call it white space, white space, white space, but it simply means ordinary space. So we are going to be introducing a white space here. So plus let's concatenate. Let's add another string. White space too. You can make it a string. So let's say plus white space plus this, and I'm sure. So what I just did is greeting plus white space plus name, like this. It will give you it will give you the space there will be a space between hello and Timson, and it will make a lot of sense that way. Let's say hello Timson. Look at this, you will see that it's different from this. Hello Timson, hello Timson. I hope I'm making sense. This is different from this. This was the previous one, and this is the current one. You will see that this makes a lot of sense. So that is that. And another thing, another way to concatenate it, we can do it in another way. Let's do it in another way. Uh, let's say I can as well do it like this. I can as well do it like this, and of course, it will just. Oh, excuse me. It's. Oh, excuse me. I did something. Wrong. Let me see. Okay. Let me see. Uh, okay. I will use another example. Of that. Let's say. Okay. Let me use a single quote. Let me use a single quote as well. You can, like I told you, remember I said single quote, double quote, it doesn't matter in Python, but at times it may matter according to the operation you are using it on. If you are on a certain operation whereby you use single quote outside a parenthesis, and you have your code inside that is gonna be that is to be run, and the code inside is also using single quote. Python might get confused, so you have to use double quote at one point and single quote within the bracket. But I will tell you, I will along the line I'll be explaining what that means. Of course, I think I did that in our previous lesson. I'll be explaining how that works, and we get an in-depth understanding of what I'm trying to explain. So let's use single quote to see how our code will run. Sorry. Hello, Timson. Oh, why? Let me see. Yes. Okay. Sorry, I didn't put space in between. Sorry. Yeah, it ran the same thing. This was the previous one, and this is what the current one. So I think I have communicated concerning string concatenation. Remember, I said string concatenation is adding what? Adding plus sign to what? String. That is addition of two strings together. It means string concatenation. Don't forget, string concatenation is what? Addition of two strings together. So that is that on string concatenation. Another thing we will be looking at is um asterisk sign. When you put asterisk sign, on the if you multiply two asterisks in programming means multiplication. Asterisk in programming means multiplication. So if you multiply two strings together, it will duplicate it. Let's try and do let's try and give an example of what I'm talking about. Let's let me do an example of what I'm talking about. Say uh let me say um let me call it double. Let me call it double. Let me now say greeting, and I now introduce a multiplication sign. Asterisk is a multiplication sign in programming. You understand? So let me say greeting, and again another greeting. Okay. Why it is showing this error is because I commented out the code. Let me put it that is corrected. So if I do this, what it will print is hello hello. It's oh sorry, excuse me. Oh sorry, I didn't print it. Let me print double. Uh, double. Yes, yes. What's that? Can multiply sequence by non-int of type. Why? Greeting. Oh, sorry. Let me just multiply by two. Sorry, I made mistake. I shouldn't multiply it by another string. I should multiply it by an integer. So when you multiply an integer by when you multiply a string by an integer, it will what? Duplicate the string. Sorry, mistake, error. The mistake is, let me correct it here. You don't multiply two strings because they are not integer, but you can multiply an integer by you can multiply a string by an integer. So when you multiply 2 by a string, it will duplicate it. If you if you multiply a string by 3, it will what? It will write it 3 times. It will write such strings 3 times, and this is what I want to get here. Hello, hello. If I put 3 here, 3 here, it will write hello, hello, hello. You understand? So please, don't do the same mistake I did here. I just corrected myself. I was multiplying two strings together, which is an error. I'm sorry. So you don't multiply two strings together, it is an error. So I just saw that in the console. I make a mistake. Anyways, maybe because most often you won't be using most of these things professionally, but of course it's pertinent to know all these things. So at this point, I will drop and I will come back again for to continue on string, because we're still going to be doing how to escape. Our next lesson will be escaping a character, escaping characters, and as well we're going to be doing string formatting operator, then string formatting function, so that we can have more understanding on string. So after this lesson, we'll be doing escaping characters. Let me write it out. Let me comment everything. So we'll be doing after now we'll be doing escaping how to escape a character, how to escape characters, how to escape characters, uh, string formatting, and what? String formatting function, string formatting function, and so on. So I want to go deep in string so that you have a very strong knowledge on string. Thank you very much. I appreciate you for watching, and God bless. Thank you. And if you have any question, please always comment, always ask me in the comment section. You can ask me in the comment section. You can ask me uh, on the Discord. You can, just make sure you ask me any questions. You can send me a message via Discord. You can send me a message via WhatsApp. You can send me a message via, or you can just send your question. You can just ask your question in the comment section. I'll do good to reply. And if you have a problem, if you have something that's still bothering you as to the clarity, as to if the zooming is not enough, please let me know in the comment section. Thank you for sticking around. God bless.